Hey guys, Charles Damiano back from the Bruce Lee collection for another exciting episode, and today I'm here with no other than Luis Cotto.
Hey Charlie.
Bruce Lee fan and collector. Thank you for having us back in your home again.
Of course,
Appreciate
anytime.
it. And my good buddy Edgar Betancourt joined us here today.
Good to meet you.
And we also brought James O'Connor. Jimmy is with us as well.
Louis.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
For coming.
How you doing?
Yeah, man. We all decided to come to see Luis Cotto's man cave. We did an episode here, probably what, about a year ago?
About a year ago, yeah.
And we walked through his rooms. He had two rooms. One is we're in now. It's mainly a pop culture room. It's everything from, what would you say, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond.
Pretty much.
All the key shows and Batman, Green Hornet, Warriors, everything you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then the other room we walked through about a year ago was his Bruce Lee room. And then I was inspired to come back here because recently I saw you do a post of your new room.
Yes.
So it's like a third room that you added in.
Yes, I did.
Right? And I wanted to kind of see it firsthand because it looked really cool when I saw the post that you put out on it.
Okay.
And I wanted you to kind of tell the guys a little bit about the concept of the room, how you came about putting this room together, because it's a little different than what we're in now. And guys, we'll give you another quick room tour in a little bit so you could see these first two rooms. And if you missed the full episode we did on Luis about a year ago, I'll also add a link above and you can click on that and watch the full episode because you'll be blown away by it. But I know you also picked up a couple of new Bruce Lee collectibles. So as we walk through the new room, maybe we can point those out as well. So we have a lot in store for you today, but let's find out how Luis came up with that third room and the whole concept behind it and what inspired you to put that together.
Well, pretty much the amount of DVDs and VHS tapes that I have, I've always wanted to have, you know, I remembered the video stores when you will go to the video store and rent a movie. And I wanted that same concept, not just what I have here now, but I wanted the concept of having a room where there's no fire stick set up to it, and all there is just VHS tapes and some DVDs, original DVDs of the past. And so what I decided to do was, in the area that I saw was available, I emptied it out, and I took my time, and I winded up transferring over about 450 DVDs, 450 VHS tapes, and I have a Trinitron 36-inch that I never got rid of, and those things were so
heavy. The old Sony Trinitron, man, those were great TVs back in the day.
And then the quality is outstanding.
Outstanding.
So I just winded up setting up the laser disc and the VHS tape and the VHS tape and along with the DVD. And then I hooked it up to the TV, and little by little I started bringing some of the things that I had in this room into that room, and I filled it up. And when I look back at this room is still full. So I can't, you know, no matter what I do, my whole idea is down the road is eventually knock this wall down and do the entire basement.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, and it's going to be nostalgically all classics.
Yeah.
So that room, I go in there and I meditate and I watch some old school movies. I watch the 7-Ups, or I watch Earthquake, or all those old school
classic.
movies. Yeah, Superman.
Oh
yeah.
Superman.
Allen disaster movies.
Yeah, man, I love all that. All the airport movies.
Those are fun, yeah.
Yeah, so I sit in there and
Towering Inferno,
and I go back in time. I just go back in time. And it's really relaxing to do that. And so I share that with my grandkids because I want them to know what it was like when we were young and what we saw.
Yeah, sure.
And so they love that room. When they come here, they just want to hang out in that room. Now they don't want to be here. They want to be in the new addition that I added. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun putting it together.
Oh, that's good. And you guys will see it shortly. So how long did it take you to put that one together?
That took me about 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks of slowly moving things out of the way and transferring things into that area. And every day that I put something in, I said, oh, I think I can put one more thing in there. Oh, I think I can add another thing in here.
You have it filled to the brim, man.
Yeah,
I saw it in there.
I do.
I think you added enough now.
I do.
That's funny. When we went in there, you had Superman on. Now, I haven't seen the 60s Superman shows since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So you have that whole series on DVD or VHS?
I have the Kirk Allen from 1947, and then I have the George Reed ones that were 6 seasons of that he did. And I have from what is it? I think it was Republic, if I'm saying it correctly. They had the original Captain America from the 1940s.
Okay.
They had Shazam. So I have all of that set up in there. I have Shazam, and I have the Masked Marvel is set up in there. And that was before Green Hornet,
Yes.
Masked Marvel.
Yeah.
So I have, and the Phantom.
Yeah.
So the original Phantom. So I have those black and white set up in there. And then what I do is I wind up putting the Batman series from the 60s. And then I'll watch the George Reeves one. Then I show all this to my grandkids. I show them the transformation. And they get blown away because, you know, back then it was stuntmen doing stunts.
Yes.
There was no CGI.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just love watching all that stuff,
Yeah.
man. It really brings me back.
Do you have the whole Green Hornet series too back there?
I do.
You do?
I do have the entire
All
Green Hornet
26
series.
episodes?
I have them all.
On VHS or DVD?
I have them both.
Both?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Anytime you want to see a movie, you come over to Luis Cotto's place. He has all the classics in here.
yeah.
Wow, so that room's complete now.
Yeah, it is for now.
Okay.
Until I decide to extend the rest of the basement, which is what I want to do before the end of the year.
Yeah, so now you have 3 rooms, obviously. You have this one, and you could still watch, do you still watch videos and movies in this room?
Oh, yeah, once in a while, if I'm in the mood for something, like if I wanted to see, for example, the other day I wanted to see the original Planet of the Apes with Charleston
Ooh, I love
Heston.
that, yeah.
And I was nostalgically, after I saw that, I wanted to see him in Moses. So I pulled out the Moses movie and I played it here on my
Cecil
big
B.
screen.
DeMille.
Yes.
So I put it on the big, and I got a 1,000-watt surround sound. So I just sit down here and I use the popcorn machine.
Yep.
And we just sit back and watch
you have it all set up, man. I love these theater-style chairs that you put in. Now, were these actually from the theater?
These were from a theater that closed down in Pennsylvania. I drove all the way out to Pennsylvania, and there was an old guys and farmer. Like, if you remember the Waltons, the father?
Yeah.
He wore the suspenders and
the
all that, and he
overalls.
had that big Santa Claus beard. It was someone like that.
Wow.
And he said to me, he says, can you afford $50 a seat? So I'm thinking, okay, 6 seats, $300, sure. But then he says, okay, give me $100. So he wanted $50 a row.
A row.
Wow.
And these were extremely heavy. And he says, son, I have a bad back, I can't help you. Before he changed his mind, I picked it up over and I just put them in my truck.
These are nice, man. So he gave you the whole row
The
for
whole
50
row
bucks.
for $50. And I
So
have
these
2
go
rows.
up?
Yes.
Oh, remember these? The old school, yeah.
You got an aluminum backing
The
here.
aluminum back in them, yeah.
Yeah.
You used to
Ceramic
sit there.
underneath, it looks like.
Movie
It's cool.
theater, yeah. These are cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's so appropriate for your room here, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is great, and I just love this room. It really takes me back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, the old days, man.
It's a
Wow.
nostalgic overload.
It is, right?
I'm looking right here. You got Ray Harryhausen.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Once in a while, I'll throw that on the big screen
That's-
too.
this is
and
great.
I'll throw the Steve Reeves.
Reeves.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
got Hercules back there.
yeah. I love watching it on the big screen down here.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of like really brings me back when I would pay 50 cents to go see a movie when I was a little kid.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it really does bring you back. Now, you know, multiplex theaters, you pay something like $25 to see a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you pay $35 to have a popcorn and a soda.
And you have it all down here, man.
Yeah.
You never have to leave the place. You have your popcorn machine, you have the movie style
Yeah.
seats, you have your big screen in front of us, and
Yeah, and I have the original serial of the 1940s. I have the radio.
yeah,
So I play the cassettes of the Adventures of Superman.
nice.
You know, and the Green Hornet.
The radio show.
Yeah, the old radio shows. So I play those down here once in a while too.
Well, before we go on the room tour and before we leave, we'll make sure that we end the show watching a movie in your home theater here today.
Hey,
Is that good?
absolutely.
All right, we'll end with that.
Okay.
So guys, we're going to do a quick room tour of these first 2 rooms. We'll do a brief recap of what Luis has in here, and then we'll give you an idea of what he put together in this third collectible room, and it's going to come right up. Yeah, so before we go into the third room, I want to just give the audience a kind of a little quick recap of your first 2 rooms here. So this is what, your pop culture room?
Yeah, over here is basically a lot of the comics that I was collecting in the past, where there are like 10 comics in one, and I have the mini posters with them, with Hercules, the Hulk, Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and the Avengers, And it goes around with some of the people that I've met through Comic-Con. And a lot of the cameras that I have are classic cameras from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s.
Wow.
And it goes all the way around with the swords from Kill Bill that I collected. And as time went on, I just kept buying and adding into the room because this is what I love. This is what I have.
I see you have a little Billy Jack action over there.
Yeah,
Some
I have
samurai
Billy Jack.
swords.
I have Billy Jack. I have the Billy Jack hat to go with that. And the samurai swords actually are from Kill Bill.
Oh, nice, nice. And then what do you have on this side of the room over here? Kind of give us a little recap of this side of the room.
Over here, I have some of the Star Wars collectibles. I have the Yoda. It's robotic. I have James Cagney. I have the Honeymooners.
I love the Honeymooners. Remember that, James?
Oh, yeah. I know every episode.
Alfred Hitchcock. And some of the posters of the Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I have a few replica rifles from John Wayne from the movie The Big Jake. And I have the Jedi fighter that was in Star Wars. And that's pretty much it in this area as far as DVDs and CDs and things of that nature.
All right, so why don't you walk us through this one? Is this the Bruce Lee room this way?
And this area from past the steps on that side is all Bruce Lee and comics.
So the steps kind of is the dividing point, right? And I see you even packed your steps to the hill also.
I put
so you
all
have collectibles everywhere, down and up the steps.
Yeah, these were my grandkids. They're the ones that said, Grandpa, you need to display some of the... And I said, you help me and we'll... And that's exactly what I have. Set up the way they do.
All right, hey, you lead us into the Bruce Lee room.
Okay.
Follow us, guys. So let's go in this room.
Okay. I also have a laser disc that I set up in the third room, and these are my laser disc movies that I've collected. From Spartacus, the Bruce Lee story, Enter the Dragon, the Green Hornet series that I got from Hong Kong. The Ballad of Bruce Lee is an album by Robert Lee that he signed for me, and I was excited to get that. But as you see, Billy Jack, Batman, and the Green Hornet, these are all Laserdisc movies that I've collected. That, you know, it's nostalgic because they don't have these anymore.
Beautiful.
And then up here is pretty much starting my area where it begins with Bruce Lee. And this was given to me, what's his name? That was at the...
oh yeah, Ronaldo Mora.
Yes.
Yeah.
He mailed it to me, and that was from Angela Mao's event and her birthday.
He commissioned this from the artist Daryl Matthews, who put this sketch together, and then he printed them, and he gave one to Angela Mao. You got one,
yes,
I got one.
one.
Now, did Angela Mao sign yours?
No.
Oh, you didn't get it to sign yours yet?
I
Okay,
have
cool,
to see
cool.
if I get a chance
That's a
to
beautiful
do it.
print, man.
It is. I
That's
love
a really
it.
nice
And
one.
It's in a perfect spot. And then over here is some comics, and from Comic-Con events, I got some posters and some Kung Fu magazines with the same picture of Bruce Lee. And then it goes into this area.
He's got the Neil Adams there.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then in this whole entire area, I have collectible comics that, you know, from the past that I've put together. And here in this area, it's all Bruce Lee pictures, some nunchucks. This one has his face on it. That was given to me as a gift.
You even got the Bruce Lee comics that
Yeah.
Shannon Lee put out. I see right over there.
And I have two specifics that she signed for me.
Yeah, she was signing a lot of those at the time when they came out.
Yeah. And over here I have about 800 martial art movies that are from the 70s to present day that I've collected. And this was an original poster that was in Chinatown. And the guy was, I think he was promoting a drink. And one of my Chinese friends said, Louis, since you have a man cave, would you like to have the poster? And I said, yes.
It's a nice poster.
So he gave it to me as a gift. And then here is a copy of the camera that Bruce Lee owned when he used to do home movies.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Yeah.
And then...
so here Bruce Lee is holding the camera, right?
Yep.
With Shannon Lee
Yep.
and Linda. And then you found this camera.
Yeah, from a woman in Seattle, Washington.
Which is a duplicate of the one he was using in that photo.
Yeah, and then these were... You wind it on the bottom, and you press the button and you automatically start filming. No batteries,
Yeah.
no nothing.
Nice.
You know, so, and these were selling for like $600-700 I think back then when he bought them. So I was excited to have a piece of history that had to do with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. And then up here is all the posters of his movies, from Game of Death, Enter the Dragon, the event that in 1967 where he fought in the karate, where he did the demonstration.
Yeah, the 67 program guide over there. I see. Yeah, the copy of it. Yep.
Way of the Dragon, Fist of Fury,
The Big Boss.
and the Big Boss. Yeah. And here are gloves that this is a replica. They're not the original. They're copies of from Enter the Dragon.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
You got the name on there, Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
That's a nice copy
The guy
they put
sold them
together.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever
So-
see that, James?
No.
Those are nice, right? The finger gloves.
Yeah, excellent. Really nice.
I like them with Bruce Lee's name on them there, man. Wow, these are nice.
Yeah, and these were given to me by my nephew, the yellow ones. He's an artist, and he drew them on these gloves, and he gave them to me as a gift because he wanted me to have them in my museum. And these cars came from Norwegian. They're Norwegian, and the gentleman who made these, he lives out there. So if you want like to get cards like that specific, they were like mini posters, and I had to have it. So I ordered it online, and he mailed them to me. But they're hard to find.
Nice.
Very hard
I
to
love
find.
them, and they depict all the martial art movies of that era,
Yeah, of
right?
that era.
And the Bruce Lee movies, which is great.
Yeah.
Sonny Shiba in there, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Angela Mao. You got all the classics in there. I like this little clapboard set you have here. Was that put out by the in Japan or Hong Kong? Where
This
was
was
that?
from Hong Kong, and these are some collectible stamps from Bruce Lee that they were selling back in the 2020. And they were kind of like limited edition, and I decided to own a couple myself. So I ordered them from Hong Kong, and it's not that many, it's just a few, but these are classics from all
nice.
his movies. And it's kind of nice to
Yeah,
have.
it's a nice set.
Yeah, and
I
these are-
remember when this came out. I never picked it up, but I love this little clapboard.
Yeah.
Because this is what he used to use in all the movies. You always used to see him in the Game of Death hitting the
Yeah.
clapboard.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
So it's kind of nice
Yeah,
to
they packaged it nicely.
It's very
I like
nice
that.
to have.
Wow,
So I
very
have
nice.
that here,
You have
and
that
then
set?
No.
No.
That's
I
really cool.
built my own little arcade with 600 games from Mario's to Pac-Man. My grandkids, they come and they play the old school games.
Yeah.
And then in here I have some old collectibles of the past that nostalgically I keep. Harmonicas, my marble set, spin top when I was a kid. Little marble spin top there. Some Bruce Lee stuff on the bottom. A replica copy of the mask.
Kato
The Kato mask.
Yeah, and I have the an original from John Negron.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
He got me the button. And
Sealed
of course,
in the package, sealed.
my Into the Dragon hat that I won at Angela Miles.
And who gave that out, Edgar?
That was Edgar. That was
That's
Edgar.
truly.
Yeah, that was a
you
nice
so
raffle.
much.
We went to Angela Mao's and we did a
okay.
raffle, and Louis won the raffle, and Edgar came up with these.
This is for
Cap.
Oh, all right.
Where's the cap of? Oh, Enter the Dragon flag.
And the first prize is an Enter the Dragon cap. With the Enter the Dragon symbol. Jose Gonzalez.
Here we go. Let's pick a winner. Let's pick a
All right, let's go. Here we go. And Charlie's digging in the bag.
Let's see who this is.
And the winner is Luis Cotto. Yeah! Luis, come on down. Luis Cotto, everybody. Yeah! My brother.
Give me $10 for that.
Thank you. That is so cool.
This is from Edgar Betancourt. Congratulations, bro. All right.
Louis won the raffle, and Edgar came up with these cool prizes, and
Yeah.
one of it was the Enter the Dragon hat, and
That
his
was-
name was
that
pulled
was
out of the
first
raffle,
prize.
which was kind of great.
First prize.
So what's this little section here? I like this section
Okay,
with
this
the
little
Green Hornet and Batman.
Yeah, this it was an original set of the Green Hornet. The gentleman who sold it to me passed away, and he had the only set available. And he asked me if I wanted to purchase it from him because he saw a video of my man cave.
Yeah.
And I said yes, I would, and I did purchase them, and I'm proud to have them. And they're pretty authentic as far as the faces and all that are concerned. They look just like the poster.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
And so I'm very happy to own it. And then over here is just old collectibles of the old Green Hornet series from the 1940s with the 1940s Green Hornet car.
Yep.
And Batman series from the old 1947. And Batman used to carry a gun back then.
And is this the Black Beauty in here?
Yes, it's the Black Beauty, and then the car that used to switch the
It's the flip.
Yep.
Oh, it's underneath it.
It's
Oh, wow,
right
that's
under
neat.
it.
Yeah, I never saw that before. Wow, that is neat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So
And what is this secret drawer over here?
over here is just all of my Bruce Lee.
Oh, the Holy Grail.
And then over here is just a lot of the old magazines.
Look at this one.
That's a classic.
The Holy Grail of collectibles.
Yeah. And
It's
then-
like the Big Frankie, except of the black belt issues.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then-
this is the first issue that Bruce Lee appeared on in Black Belt, 1967, right?
Yeah.
When he did Kato and the Green Hornet, and it was the first cover issue they ever put him on, and it was also a pre-death issue before he passed away. So, a lot of money this one's worth, man.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
$100 there.
A couple of Japanese books here from Japan.
Yep.
And some old Steve Carriage.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah, a lot of old books that I have in here. And some posters.
From Hong Kong, Kung Fu Special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the old Kung Fu
Monthly
posters that came
magazines.
out
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
Look at that. Really nice. Wow.
And then over here on the second drawer, I have.
Watch this doesn't fall again.
In the second drawer, I have a collectible book, which is that of Bruce Lee photos. They only made 25 of these books,
That's a pretty rare book.
and
Lee Seong Lung.
yeah, and
His Chinese name.
has 1,200 rare photos of Bruce Lee that no one's ever seen.
Wow.
And they're not from the movies or anything of that nature. This is all personal and private photos that they had
Yeah.
of him. He used to have a photographer that would follow him
Yep.
and take a lot of photos. So only 25 of these books were made, and I'm proud to owe one thanks to John Negron.
Yeah, John told me that I think I forget where the guy's from, maybe Japan or UK. He only printed like 25 of
25
these,
of those books.
and he put all these very rare photos in them. So these books are really hard to come by. I think they're a couple $100 a book
I think they're about $1,200 right now.
right now.
Yeah.
Because you can't get them anymore.
No.
Yeah, because so few were printed. Look at this kind of shot of Bruce Lee. I've never even seen that shot before. Wow, those are some pretty rare shots there. Look at this from '67 tournament. Yeah, some old shots of Lee. Yeah, this is a really hard book to come by.
I was fascinated by it, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have it.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
The charisma of a sociable man. He certainly had a lot of charisma, that's for sure.
did.
Wow, great book, man.
Did.
Now, should we go into your other room now?
Sure.
Let's
Absolutely.
let's walk into the other room, and so now we're gonna take a look at the new room that Louis put together. This is just kind of a recap of what you guys probably saw a year and a half ago of Louis's Bruce Lee room, and now we're gonna look at the third room that he put together. So follow us.
Okay.
After you, Louis. After you, James. Follow us, guys. Stay tuned for part 2 as we continue our Bruce Lee room tour with Luis Cotto as he shares his new pop culture collectible room, more Bruce Lee collectibles, our fun exchange of Bruce Lee gift items, and much, much more coming soon.